Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to Star Citizen. Thank you so much for joining me for another video, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are, we're back on Hurston one more time. So here is another ship. Not review. It's really difficult to review any of the ships in Star Citizen because most of them aren't complete. They're not feature complete yet, but let's just call this a look-see. Here's another video on a ship look-see. So this is my ship. This is the Retaliator Bomber. So yeah, I didn't have a Retaliator Bomber. If you guys have watched my previous IAE, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo videos, I normally tended to skip the Retaliator. I would recommend you guys not buy it. I wasn't really for the Retaliator. Now, the Retaliator is one of the original ships in Star Citizen. This thing was in-game. This thing was on sale. Like, it originally came out on concept sale a long time ago. So this thing was in-game for... It has been in-game for a very long time. So this is not a new ship. This isn't... This doesn't have the golden standard of ships. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the other ships have. But what is the Retaliator Bomber, and what's changed my mind into going and purchasing a Retaliator Bomber? So now, as I said, I have one. This is my ship. I own one. Well, Xenothreat. Short answer, Xenothreat changed my mind on the Retaliator. The Retaliator is very useful, guys. It's a very useful tool for a couple of people to be able to reach out and destroy a capital ship. So anybody in game can fly this thing and be able to take out any of the larger capital ships. So you could probably turn a Javelin into half health with just one payload on this thing. You could take out an Idris for sure with one payload, and you could take out probably 2 Hammerheads with no problems in the Retaliator Bomber. Now, there are 2 versions of the Retaliator. There's the Retaliator Base, and then there's the Retaliator Bomber, which is the one that you see here. So the Bomber came first, and then they built the Retaliator Base. Now, the Retaliator Base is for another video, another day, but the Retaliator Base is significantly cheaper than the Retaliator Bomber because it lacks all of the bomb bays from the Retaliator Bomber. So the base is basically designed to be more modular. So sometimes down the line, they're going to build a whole bunch of modules for the Retaliator Base, and you can swap out the bomb bays for other things like, troop transport, cargo, whatever. So what is the Retaliator Bomber, you guys might be asking? So the Retaliator Bomber, as the name suggests, it's a bomber. And if you guys know anything about modern aviation, or if you're an aviation enthusiast like I am, this thing is clearly modeled or concepted after a B-1 bomber. So this looks pretty much like a B-1 bomber, a futuristic US Air Force B-1 bomber. Now, what is a B-1 bomber? So very quickly, a B-1 bomber is designed to fly low and supersonic, get to the target, drop various different either conventional or nuclear payloads. So this thing is, again, as I'm saying, it looks like it's being concepted after a B-1 bomber. So, is it fast? No, I'm afraid that this isn't fast like the B-1 bomber. Now, if you guys, again, if you've watched my IAE videos before, this is one of the complaints that I had about the Retaliator Bomber. This thing is quite slow. In my opinion, it should be faster. It should be a little bit faster. So let me just give you some of the stats on this ship. So this thing is 70 meters, almost 70 meters tall from... not tall, 70 meters long in length. So from nose to tail, it's 69.5 meters. It is 42.5 meters wide from wingtip to wingtip, and also 12.5 meters tall from the bottom till the top. This thing is equipped with 5 manned turrets, 3 of which have size 2, size 3 Panther repeaters, and 2 of those have 2 size 2 Badger repeaters. So a total of 5 turrets, one on the bottom on the front, one on the top on the front, one at the back here. So these 3 are all size 3, twin size 3s, and then you have 2 turrets on the sides, which we'll go inside and take a look at. These 2 turrets on the sides on the top are Badger repeaters, size 2 laser repeaters. So in terms of its main payload, in terms of its main function, this thing is designed to deliver bombs or missiles. So at the moment, this thing can carry 6 size 9 torpedoes. We'll go inside and we'll have a look at it. These are the bomb bay doors, so the bomb bay doors open, and we will do that. And it's got a rotary type launcher. There's 4 in here in this first bomb bay, and then there is 2 here in this bomb bay to the rear. So a total of 6 size 9 missiles. It's a single seat cockpit. We'll go inside and have a look. It's a single seat cockpit. Again, as I said, this is an old design. This is one of the oldest, in fact, Star Citizen multi-crew ships. Just exactly the same as the Constellation. But the Constellation, the Caterpillar, all of those ships, those OG, multi-crew ships went through reworks. But this thing hasn't. This thing hasn't been through a rework. But good news, a rework is coming, guys. A rework is coming for the Retaliator. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Retaliator. You've got 2 elevators, one on this side, one on that side. You can come inside the Retaliator here. So, as I said, there's a rework coming for this ship. Currently, this thing is priced at $275, the Retaliator Bomber. Now, I'm going to guarantee you guys, once this thing is finished, once they've finished reconcepting and redoing the ship, it will go up in price. I don't agree with it, but that's just the thing that CIG does. They change the prices of the ships. I mean, this ship is already very expensive, $275. It's crazy. It's crazy. But if you're looking for a Retaliator Bomber, try and pick one up before the rework, because I guarantee you the price will go up. So you guys might be asking, what is some of the problems with the Retaliator and why are they reworking it? Well, for one, these corridors that run alongside of the ship, there seems to be problems with AI being able to traverse these doorways. So the AI, the NPCs seem to have trouble finding a path or navigating through these corridors. So yeah, there's that, and then also there is the problem of moving these components in and out of the ship. So this seems to be a quantum drive. This is some sort of cooler, and of course you got shields here as well. Now I expected the Retaliator to have size 3 modules, but it seems like it only has size 2s. So you got size 2 components, modules. So let's start from the front of the ship. So take this corridor, and then you see these beautiful size 9 torpedoes. This is the front bomb bay. So I've loaded the Argos. These are the cross-sectional size 9 torpedoes on the front, and I've got the heat-seeking ones on the back. So you move here. This is where the cockpit is. So this is a single seat, as I said, cockpit. Let's go ahead and get inside. There it is. Let's go ahead and turn on the engines. So this is the cockpit. Lots of buttons and switches. Really nice big radar screen here. Sensor display, combined sensor display, whatever you want to call it. You got everything you need on the MFDs here. Plenty of MFDs all around. Lots and lots of buttons. 2 struts. Kind of, the visibility isn't great, but then again, this is a bomber. This is a military ship. This isn't really a fighter. Yeah. Having less visibility is a bad thing, but at the same time, less glass means more protection. More protection against rounds coming in towards the pilot. So this is the cockpit. This is the cockpit, and I'll give you guys a view of the ship from the outside as well. So apparently this thing has a stealth coating as well. Like it has some sort of coating on the paint that absorbs radar, and what it does is that it reduces the ship's signature. It is a kind of a stealthier ship, so this thing will be more stealthier than something like a Constellation or a Caterpillar. So you got that going for it as well, and of course it's a swing wing design as well. The wings extend out when you retract the landing gear, and then they extend back in. They fold in when you deploy the landing gear, because this thing is designed to take off and land from a carrier. So this thing is a carrier bomber, something like a Bengal carrier or something like that. As I said, three turrets on the top, 2 turrets on the bottom, for a total of 5 turrets. 2 airlocks, 1 on the top, as you guys can see, 1 on the bottom. Not very great, not very maneuverable in space. Actually, it's probably one of the worst handling ships of the size in space, and it's quite bad in atmosphere as well. Now the wings, I'm just going to go ahead and take off. Just take off a little bit, just to extend the wings. Retract the landing gear so you guys can see the wings. So the wings and the front canards do extend out, but not by much. So I expect when they add control surfaces to ships for in atmospheric flight, I expect these wings to fold out even further, because that was just nothing. Let me go ahead and deploy the landing gear so you guys can see it again. The wings don't extend at all. I was expecting the wings to come out further. Obviously that's going to depend on your speed, of course, angle of attack and all that. If they do decide to do that, which they said they want to do that. You've got the front canards as well. And of course you got VTOL as well, which is pretty cool. So you've got your main thrusters turning vertical. And you guys can see we're kicking up a lot of dust, a lot of rocks and leaves on the ground. Yeah, so you got VTOL, you got swing wing, wings. The landing gear animations don't seem to work. They just pop in and pop out at the moment. As I said, this is a very old ship. This is quite an old ship. So let's go ahead and touch back down again. And then we'll go through the rest of the ship. Engines off so we don't kick up a lot of dust. So immediately we have a turret here. So this is the bottom chin turret. Let's get inside. Oh, that is so strange. We're upside down, guys. So yeah, these are this one, the front top turret and the rear bottom turret, as I said, are equipped with size 3. So these are the Panther repeaters. This thing is quite well armed for a bomber. It has quite a lot of turrets. As I said, 5 turrets. If you've got all 5 turrets firing away, this thing is actually like a mini hammerhead. This thing, believe it or not, is like a mini hammerhead. Could be effective against like a small fighter, like a Gladius or something coming after you. But yeah, so that's the bottom turret, and then immediately you've got this ladder. You can go up top. There's a nice view there, and here we have access to the top front turret. Again, with 2 size 3 Panther repeaters. There you go. Turn on the power. So that's the turret on the top. It's got some nice angles. Like you can shoot all the way up, all the way down. Not bad. So that's that. And then of course this is where you come up from the ladder. You got turret access, and then you've got a weapons rack here. Let's go ahead and drop the pistol in here. So this is a fully functioning weapons rack. It looks like you can place 8, a total of 8 different weapons. And of course you've got the bunks here. So you've got 6 beds here, 6 bunks. That looks terribly uncomfortable. I'm not sure if these are escape pods as well. They look like they could be escape pods. So 6 bunks here, and then there's another one for the captain down below, which we'll look at now. So let's go ahead and climb down. And over here to the left is the captain's quarters, or the pilot's quarters, whatever you want to call this guy. So there's another bed. So a total of 7 beds. Total of 7 beds, all up front here. As I said, this ship is going to get a rework, and you can see it's not a bad design. I liked it, like 5-6 years ago, whatever, 7 years ago when this thing came out. It's good. I like the visible bomb bays, that you can see it. The corridors could be a little weird, but one of the main issues that I can see with most of the ships in Star Citizen is the placement for the components, the modules. I've said this before. If you're a subscriber, you would have heard this from me about most of the other ships as well. These components can catch on fire. They can leak. They can explode. They can release toxic gas, acid into here, and this is the main area. This is the main entrance and exit from the ship. Now, if these components are damaged and they're leaking gas or they're on fire, they catch all this place on fire. How do you leave the ship? You're pretty much stuck. You're pretty much stuck. And there's a particular group of people in Star Citizen. Now, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. That when they watch these videos and when you make a slight complaint or show some sort of negative thing about a ship, they get upset. They just do. I don't know how or why would people get upset when you point out a fault of a ship, especially when it's about to get a rework. I'm trying to make the ship better, guys. If you're one of those people that say, don't say anything negative about my ship, say it's the best thing ever since sliced white bread. No. Grow up. People get upset even if you like point out the smallest mistake in a ship design. It's like, no, just say it's the best ship ever. Well, it's not. And it's a good thing that people make videos and point out mistakes so that developers can go ahead and fix them, especially when the ship is going through a rework. So as I said, components shouldn't be here blocking the main entrance and exit to and from the ship. Maybe they could move them somewhere else. Move them to an engineering room or something. So here's the bomb bay. Here's the front bomb bay, the main bomb bay with 4 size 9 torpedoes. This bomb bay door does open, and we're going to do that. I'm going to show you guys that. So these are the 4 size 9 torpedoes, and you guys can see how large these torpedoes are. They're literally like naval torpedoes. These are literally like modern day, current day, contemporary day, torpedoes. They even look like torpedoes. They look like submarine or ship launched torpedoes. That's pretty cool. So you don't want to be standing here when the ship is about to launch a torpedo, because these doors open and you'll fall out. You will fall out. So that's the front bomb bay. Close the door. Over here, This is the bathroom. Lockers, bathroom, shower type thing. We've got the shower here. Hot, cold. Again, just keep in mind, this ship is really, really old. This ship is really old. In fact, this is as OG as you can get to the OG ships, the OG designs of the ships. Most of the OG ships have been reworked. So you got the Cutlass, the Freelancer, the Avenger, the Caterpillar, the Constellation. This thing is the OG. This is still the OG design for Star Citizen ships. And of course you got 2 airlocks. One on the bottom. I don't want to fall. And one on the top. There you go. 2 airlocks. Allowing you to dock. There you go. Alright, let's go make our way to the back of the ship. You got 2 shield generators here. Again, these could catch on fire. They could explode and pretty much block this whole walkway. Now here is an engineering station. It doesn't do anything. It's just a monitor now. I'm not going to get inside that thing. It's just an engineering station. And here is the rear bomb bay with 2 missiles. 2 size 9 missiles. Now, later on, this ship will be able to carry air-to-ground bombs just like the A2. And I'm expecting the Retaliator to be able to carry quite hefty bombs, just like the A2. I'm guessing this thing will be able to carry Moabs, just like the A2, and it'll be able to carry smaller bombs, like size 3 bombs, size 2 bombs, you know, various different sizes. This thing is literally designed to be a capital ship killer with torpedoes, missiles. Again, I'm expecting this thing to be able to carry cruise missiles, smaller size missiles. Like instead of carrying 6 size 9 torpedoes, you should be able to carry 12 size 7 missiles, whatever, you know what I mean, or a whole bunch of smaller missiles or bombs. So this is a bomber, and eventually this thing will be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Here's another turret. So this is the top side turret. These, as I said, these top side turrets are armed with 2 size 2 Badger repeaters. Again, as I said at the beginning, this ship is, it looks like it was concepted or inspired by the B-1 bomber, but the B-1 bomber doesn't have turrets. Turrets are like a World War II thing, like a B-17, a B-29, a B-24. This is like a World War II kind of a concept for defending a bomber. So they've got good coverage. The turrets have decent coverage, I guess. I think that's a component as well. That's a power plant. Moving on all the way to the back of the ship. This is the bottom turret. I'm not going to get inside that bottom turret. It feels weird where it makes you... It takes you and then turns you upside down. So that's the bottom turret. That is the top side turret again with the size 2s. So I don't think you have access to the rear bomb bay, but it looks like you could. It does have a crawl space, but I haven't been able to get in there. Look at this. Cooling fans. So from the engineering section, it looks like you may be able to crawl through this door into the bomb bay, into the rear bomb bay, I should say. So those are the heat-seeking IR size 9 torpedoes. So that's about it for the Retaliator, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Retaliator Bomber. As I said, it's going to get a rework, and when it does get a rework, you can expect the price to go up, which is something that I don't agree with, but it happens. One of my main complaints is the placement of the components in most of the Star Citizen ships. And of course, you have to be able to physically... I mean, people... Whenever I say this in videos, people in the comments section act surprised or probably haven't heard of this. These components, all of them, guys, will be physicalized. You will be able to take these components out, fix them, change out subcomponents. You know, if you're going to change a component later on, you will physically have to remove this from your ship. Bring a new component and physically put it back in here. So there's no ifs or buts about this. This is planned. They've said this before. Okay? So components need to be able to move out, in and out of ships. So I'm not sure if you can fit this size 2 component on this elevator. So that's what they're doing right now. This is part of the rework to try and get more space in here for AI, for NPCs, and of course for components to be able to move in and out of the ship. Again, these size 2 shield generators, they may fit through here. They may fit through here, but then the bulkhead doors may block these components from, you know, being removed. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Retaliator Bomber. Oh, before we do that, I need to show you guys something. Hold on. Let me go back up. I didn't open the bomb bay doors. I need to open the bomb bay doors for you guys. So I was expecting this thing to have 2 seats. Like I was thinking it's probably better if it has 2 seats, pilot, and then a bombardier, right? So the pilot flies the ship, the bombardier fires the missiles. But at the moment, the pilot can do everything: fly the ship, launch torpedoes and missiles. So you've got enough beds for 7 people. So that's pilot, engineer, and then 5 gunners. Pilot, engineer, 5 gunners. You could have pilot, engineer / bombardier, and then 5 gunners. But then, of course, they have to add a second seat somewhere. So let's go ahead and engage the missile operator mode. And once you do that, once you engage the missile operator mode, it opens up the bomb bay and it lowers a torpedo. Let's go outside and have a look at it. So I'm not going to do a flight test. As I said at the beginning, this thing flies terribly in space. It wobbles around everywhere. It's actually one of the worst handling ships. It just wobbles. So... Oh, that's not animated. What? This door is currently open. Alright, let's go outside and have a look at the missile. Hopefully it's animated. Oh, it's not. So okay, so I think when you get out of the seat, it disengages the missile operator mode. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Retaliator Bomber. I own one now. Before, I kept saying, you know, stay away from it. This is not a good ship. It's a waste of time. Xenothreat convinced me otherwise. And, yeah, I own a Retaliator Bomber. If you guys want a ship that can, you know, take out a large capital-sized ship, this is the ship. This is the ship for you. If you've got a whole bunch of friends that you can, you know, use in an org or something like that to man the turrets for you, this is like a mini hammerhead. Although it shouldn't be used as a mini hammerhead, this is a bomber. It's going to get a rework. It's going to get better. Moving forward in Star Citizen, we're going to get a lot of air-to-ground weapons now. So bombs, not just missiles or torpedoes. This thing, when it gets a rework, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to carry bombs as well. As I said, whether that be size 3 bombs, a whole bunch of size 3 bombs, or a Moab, or anything in between, this ship will be able to carry it. So if you want a bomber, the Retaliator Bomber is pretty good. It's pretty nice. It has potential of it getting improved as it gets a rework, as, you know, as more gameplay mechanics come online in Star Citizen. So this is a ship with a lot of potential. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and we're here on Hurston because I the past couple of videos that I did, it was on Microtech and it was at night. It was raining and snowing, lots of snowstorms and stuff like that. I wanted you guys. I came here so that you guys can get a better look during the daytime at the Retaliator Bomber. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.